Good morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrero. Today is Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. We'll get to Kyle Shanahan on KMBR and the most positive Aiyuk and Trent Williams update we have heard in 1 second. But first, a couple of notes from the final practice of training camp. The running backs have returned. Elijah Mitchell, Isaac Arenda were back out there, and both look like they were back to full speed. Jacob Cowing, the wide receiver, got a ton of work yesterday while Trent Taylor worked off to the side, as it should be. And last but not least, as Matt Maiocco noted, the vibes are just off with the 49ers. The usual training camp intensity is just not there right now. And look, maybe they know they have a long way to go, but right now, it certainly feels like the juice that the 49ers have been known for in recent years is a little bit lacking. Of course, that may change if Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams suddenly walk back into the building. On that note, listen to Matt Maiocco. This comes from Training Camp Live on NBC Sports Bay Area. Listen to this update about Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams.
Clearly, I think both of those situations should be wrapped up soon. I just get the sense that neither one of those guys, Trent Williams a lot longer than Brandon Aiyuk, but I just get the sense that they felt like they've been through enough training camps that they just didn't want to put the pads on. They didn't want to run around in the heat, and they're just ready for the regular season to start. And at some point, I think fairly soon, they'll be back in Santa Clara and back on the practice field.
Anytime Matt Maiocco says the phrase, I just get the sense, you know what follows is exactly what the 49ers want out there. Matt only puts out what the organization wants out there. If he says it's close, that is the most positive update we have gotten on either situation yet. But as they say, hope for the best, plan for the worst. So, Kyle Shanahan, you were on KMBR yesterday. Who fills that Brandon Aiyuk role if he's not there?
That's what we got everyone competing for right now. We have Juwan, who's done a lot of good stuff for us here over the years. He's kind of, when guys are healthy, he's always majored as our slot receiver. But we've used him outside too. He's always been capable of being outside, and he's a guy that we'd like to, he's probably the first we would look to because, he has been our number 3 receiver since we've been here. And at times in some big moments, we've used him like a number 1 guy. Chris Conley's had a hell of a camp. He came on strong for us last year, did a hell of a job for last year, and made a number of plays going into the playoffs, and in the Super Bowl. And then we got these rookies who are all pushing that I know will be there eventually, but they're a little behind the 8 ball with their injuries, but they're guys we believe in, guys who are made of the right stuff. And then we got a lot of depth here with just guys we brought in from other teams who have made other teams before. We have guys that have been on the back part of our roster that are trying still to do that again with Danny and Ronnie Bell and things like that. So we'll see how it plays out. We usually get 5 up for game day, and if BA's not there, we'll plan on using all of them.
That's not an answer, Kyle. That's just a list of everybody that's on the roster. Here's a thought. Instead of hoping you have an Aiyuk replacement, just sign the damn guy already. And hopefully, as Matt Maiocco said, that does come to an end soon. One more from Kyle, because I think it's important when a coach responds to a specific criticism that fans have had. And he was asked, hey, a lot of people thought it was crazy to play Brock Purdy behind the offensive line that you used against the Saints. What is your reaction to that, Kyle?
I get what people say, but I think sometimes people are just trying to be a little bit dramatic with it. If we obviously thought it was something that he couldn't protect himself or the guys couldn't match up at all, then we wouldn't do it at all. But we didn't feel that way. We liked the reps that Brock got. He was excited to play. He was in there with possibly our 2 starting tackles, our starting center, our starting right guard, and Banks was down. So Banks ended up breaking his pinky the day before, and if Banks did, Zakel would have been up. So that could just easily be our opening day O-line. So that's part of football, and they're guys that are NFL players, and so I didn't see it as anything wrong with the offensive line, and I actually thought the offensive line matched up pretty well and did a pretty good job in that game.
Kyle is never going to openly and publicly admit a mistake, but did you catch it there? He referred to Dominic Pooney as the starting right guard. There you go, Rook. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Thursday. There's a great story in The Athletic with one thought on every single offensive player on the 49ers roster. It's a very fun read. If you want to see the one thought, click the link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch, Vernon Davis is going to join the show with me and Levin later today. It's not going to be live, but we'll tape it. I'll have it up today. Vernon Davis is going to hop on with us, going to tell some cool Harbaugh stories, going to ask him, what is it like when you have to climb the mountain again after losing a Super Bowl? Unfortunately, Vernon has firsthand experience there, so you definitely don't want to miss that. One thing you may have missed, the Denver Broncos have a new starting quarterback. They announced Bo Nix is going to be the man under center this season. When he starts in week 1, Bo Nix will be the first rookie quarterback to start in week 1 for the Denver Broncos since John Elway 41 years ago. That may only interest me, but I could not believe that when I came across it. Strange, but true. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio pods. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified when we go live. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy your Thursday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.